Hello there. Welcome to the Bernie Show. Why am I talking like this? I don't know. It's Friday and I'm punchy. Didn't get enough sleep last night. Anyway, welcome to the Bernie Show on STL Sports Central, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. I am Bernie Miklasz, and I've been writing and talking about St. Louis area sports, including the colleges, since 1985. I do 5 videos, write 5 columns each week here on STL Sports Central. You can catch me with Randy Carriger once a week on his show here, and I'm also on KMOX frequently throughout the week talking sports. Today's topic, panic at 14th and Clark. The House of Blues, of course. You have probably noticed that the Blues are doing that weird blues thing again. You know, they've done it quite frequently through the years, through the decades. It's sort of franchise tradition. For whatever reason, the Blues players decide to go on vacation at various times of the season. I don't know why, but at times some of these men seem to believe that effort is optional. Now, I got some stuff to talk about later that will contradict that a little bit because I believe when a team's going bad, especially at home, you know, you got to kind of point the fingers everywhere, right? But anyway, when the Blues do this thing where they're just kind of vacant at home, and you know, we've seen that so far this season, they're usually unplugged mentally. You know, I think the physical part can be an issue, but I think more than anything, they're kind of unplugged mentally. And then there's a bigger problem that overrides all that. More later. Early in the new season, the Blues do not feel like being at home, apparently. They've won both of their road games, and they've been impressive doing so. But when it's time to come home and take care of business, they snooze and snooze as their passionately loyal fan base pack the arena and wait for the Blues to reappear or at least wake up. And it can be a long wait sometimes. The Blues have gotten a win in only one of their first 5 home games. They are 1-3-1. They've been outscored 23-11 by the visitors. The Blues have been at their worst in the first period at home this season, getting outscored 8-2 in the first 20 minutes. But they had that game with the Blackhawks where it was a 2-2 score after the first 20 minutes. So your runaway from home Blues have been walloped 6-0 otherwise in the first period. These men need new alarm clocks, maybe something stronger like electroshock treatments. I don't know. What the hell are they listening to in the home team locker room before games? They got lullabies playing? Did someone play a practical joke and slip some melatonin into the vitamin supply? I don't know. The Blues have themselves a hockey home invasion problem. The slow starting Blues are letting opponents come into their building and ransack the place. And that's got to stop. You know, if I didn't know better, I would think Jim Montgomery, the coach, is pulling his hair out. But, you know, he went with the bald look a long time ago. But he's probably doing something in terms of just like, you know, avoiding to drive himself crazy when he goes home at night. You know, maybe he's eating ice cream or something. I don't know. When I return from my second, that's what I do when I'm stressed out, as you can probably see. When I return from my second segment of today's show, I'm going to toss some stuff at you that gets to the bottom of this. It gets to the bottom of this issue, at least for now, and puts the Blues' main problem into sharper focus, in my opinion. But first, some exciting news for sports fans here in St. Louis and across the state of Missouri. You don't have to wait much longer because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is finally coming to the Show Me State. As I record this, we're only 38 days away from go time on December 1st. That's when DraftKings Sportsbook goes live in our state. And you can get a jump right now. Get prepared in advance by signing up now. There's no reason not to. That way you can avoid scrambling and fumbling around. Oh, what do I do? I forget what I'm supposed to do. No, beat the rush early and get organized early. You can register right now. And when we go live on the first day of December, new Missouri customers get $300 in bonus bets just by placing a $5 bet. That is a sweet deal, my friends. DraftKings is the best. You got live in-game betting. You can jump in anytime during the course of a game, make your play. All sorts of prop bets for the Blues, like, for example, well, who will score the Blues' first goal? Or during the game, who will score the Blues' next goal? There's lightning fast payouts. None of this nonsense about, well, you're going to have to wait 3 days for your money. No. DraftKings does not disrespect you that way. So when DraftKings goes live on the 1st of December, you will know that you'll be betting with the sports book that is trusted by millions. It is safe. It is secure. You got the fast withdrawals, the excellent customer service, everything you want. The rest, winning money, well, that's up to you. But DraftKings Sportsbook provides that opportunity, and you will be pleased with their service. So here's the play. You download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, you use the code STL Sports, and when we go live December 1st, that $5 bet turns into a $300 bonus bet bonus. That is code STL Sports in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after they're issued. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. You can find the terms sportsbook.draftkings.com/promo codes. All right. Welcome back to the second segment of today's Bernie Show. We're talking St. Louis Blues or the fact that at home they're the St. Louis Snooze and all those other puns. I got some numbers here to make a point, and I'll try not to go too bananas with the numbers, but I really want to share them because they do tell us a story. Everyone who has watched the Blues at home so far already knows one thing. There's a goaltending problem in downtown St. Louis. Joel Hofer has been really, really bad. .625 save percentage at home when the Blues are playing 5-on-5, which they're doing most of the game. And Jordan Binnington, while better, hasn't been great because his home save percentage is .899 at 5-on-5. Clearly better than Hofer, but come on now. I was studying some of the metrics. You see, that's what I do. I am a nerd. I'm always looking for information so I can try to understand things better. That's just how I'm wired. Anyway, the Blues should be having, and this is all small sample stuff, the Blues should be having more home ice success than they have enjoyed so far. For example, their percentage of goals scored at 5-on-5 at home should be, based on the metrics, should be 58%. They should have 58% of the 5-on-5 goals at home so far. That's based on shot volume and quality and other underlying factors. But that's what it comes up to or down to. By now, to this point of the season at home, they should have scored 58% of the 5-on-5 goals. But instead of scoring 58% of the 5-on-5 goals at home so far, they've scored 32%. Holy cow, that is a whopper of a difference. Should have scored 58% of the 5-on-5s. They've scored only 32 of the 5-on-5s. That tells us something. What it tells us is that it's not the only reason, but the number one reason for this discrepancy is goaltending. There are other obvious areas that bug me, sure. At some point, some of the forwards got to score goals. We got to set up goals, things like that. But goaltending always matters, and it really matters in this instance. Then let me give you three quick stats. Number one, the Blues' first period save percentage at home this season is .843 in 5 games. Well, good luck trying to win with that. Number two, the Blues' home ice save percentage at 5-on-5 is even worse. That's for the whole game, .835. That's so awful, you can say it is spectacularly awful. That save rate, by the way, .835 at home on 5-on-5, puts the Blues 31st among the 32 teams. Number three, a key factor in every NHL game is how each team handles how it does in from the high danger scoring zones. I'm focusing on 5-on-5 play here because it's the most relevant. So remember, when I give you the numbers, we're talking 5-on-5. And this has been the high danger zone. I can't talk now. The high danger zones have been a disaster area for the Blues so far at home. Opponents have scored 5 times in 6 high danger chances against Hofer. That's a .167 save percentage. Visitors have scored 5 times in 21 high danger shots against Binnington. That's a .762 save percentage, which isn't like awful, but it is below average. And here's why this makes a difference. More numbers. I'll be done soon. At home, when playing 5-on-5, the Blues have controlled, this is a key thing. The Blues have controlled the high danger shots at an impressive rate of about 59%. They get 59% of the high danger shots at home at 5-on-5. The opponents get 41%. That ratio in favor of the Blues is the 6th best in the league. That's really important. They should be doing a lot more with it, and they're not. Despite the sizable advantage, the Blues have been outscored 10-4 from the high danger areas when playing 5-on-5 at home. And some of that, of course, is those underachieving group of forwards I referenced. But when your team has controlled just under 59%, or I'm going to call it 59%, of the high danger scoring opportunities at home, but has scored only 28.6% of the high danger goals 5-on-5 at home, That's a lot of trouble. I mean, you are not getting anything close to the number of goals that you should, and you're giving up way many more goals than you should, given your control of the 5-on-5 spots in the high danger zones. I think it's also fluky because I don't think that will last. But the Blues have, at 5-on-5 at home this season, the goaltenders have a .629 save percentage, second worst in the NHL. So you want to know the predominant reason why the Blues suck at home? That's it. Don't get caught in the weeds of pointing out 73,000 other things, okay? There's no one area that's entirely to blame, but this is the biggie when it comes to the St. Louis Blues. Look, I assume the goaltending will get better. We know what Hofer and Binnington are capable of, and I'll talk about that, but I'm also going to, put out some historical perspective in the third and final segment. It'll be a quick one here on the Bernie Show. It'll be a quickie. And again, if you want to absorb all this, we can go back in time a little bit. But first, it's time for me to give my fellow dudes a little pep talk about BlueChew. I'm 66 years old. I know how much I have been helped by BlueChew, and that's why I am proud to recommend BlueChew to you, because if it can help me, then you should check it out to see if it will help you, because you can get your first month's supply for free. I'll provide the details here in a few seconds. No matter what age you are, BlueChew can help raise your game for those intimate and pleasurable and special times with your partner. Big Blue can restore your power, so just chew it and do it. Nothing to be shy about. BlueChew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for enhanced performance, and you're just a few clicks away from getting it. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers. Once you're approved, you're going to receive your prescription at your doorstep in a few days. It's all done online, simple and private, nothing awkward. Try your first month of BlueChew free when you use the promo code Bernie. You just pay $5 shipping. That's it. That's promo code Bernie. You get your first month free, and the only cost to you is the $5 shipping fee. It is worth the try, gentlemen. So visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information, and we thank BlueChew for sponsoring the Bernie Show. All right, let's get into segment number 3. And by the way, remember to subscribe to our STL Sports Central YouTube channel. Click the button below you, and please hit that like button on our videos. It helps us a lot, and we love you. All right, back to the Blues. I guess this is the time where I should probably remind myself of something. See, I didn't say you. I said I'm remind myself. But I guess you could be reminded as well. The only St. Louis Blues team that won the Stanley Cup, I think you remember it, right? Boy, the years are, I will say this, the years are going by pretty quick. But anyway, the 2018-19 Blues that won the Stanley Cup, they had a 1-3-1 record in their first 5 home games that season. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, I know. You don't have to write me this. I know. Different time, different team, different players. And early that season, the Blues had a different coach, Mike Yeo, who was replaced by Craig Berube at some point in November. And the Chief became the only Blues coach to hoist the Stanley Cup. And I know there was no Jordan Binnington between the pipes for the Blues early in that season. He didn't join them and become their regular goaltender until after the start of the new year. But I'm just making a larger point here. The NHL season is long. It is hard. It's got many twists and turns. And along the way, some of the outcomes simply don't make sense. Even the best teams go through horrendous stretches when nothing seems to go right, or they go through dynamic stretches where everything they touch turns to gold. Nothing goes wrong. And it won't last. We know that in both cases. Whether you're red hot or ice cold, it won't last. At some point, the opposite will be true. When Berube took over as the coach on November the 19th, the Stanley Cup season, he was the boss for about a month when the Blues lost 4 out of 5 home games. And again, they didn't have Binnington. I know it. But that also reminds us of something else. See, you never know what can happen or who can come along and change everything and change it quickly after a team gets off to an ice-cold, disappointing, frustrating, terrible start. And we know how the 2018-19 campaign turned out. You probably, and I sure hope you were at the parade or celebrating at the Arch Grounds. What a day. So, yeah, I'm going to follow my own advice and take a deep breath. I have concerns about the Blues, and, yeah, they are a bewildering bunch at times. But what the hell else is new? They're kind of always like that. But I do try hard to stay even keel, although I make no promises. but especially this early in the season, I try hard to stay on the level. But I also know the Blues, despite yielding home ice advantage early on, they're still 3-1 overall so far. There's a lot of talent here, and there's lots of season to go. Heck, Montgomery came along last season when the Blues were drowning, man. They were bad early season. And after he replaced Drew Bannister, Monty led the Blues to a 35-18-7 record for a 642 points percentage that was tied for 6th in the NHL over the final 60 games. I still have faith in Montgomery's coaching. I don't know why anybody wouldn't. And I definitely believe the goaltending is going to improve instead of watching Hofer and Binner, yakking up fur balls or whatever. There's been nothing wrong with the goaltending on the road, so why is it so bad at home? These are the same guys. There's no need to panic. There is, however, a huge need to stop the damn puck, especially at the Enterprise Center. So thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Remember to do this at favor. Please subscribe, hit the like button, leave your comments, support our sponsors. Special thanks to DraftKings for presenting The Bernie Show on STL Sports Central. Have an awesome day.